And yeah, you lost the fucking Ritz versus Jazz. So
Okay, the one I lost on was easily one of my weaker senses, my sense of smell.
Which probably explains why I've got such a great sense of hearing, really. It's a real daredevil situation.
like a blind guy.
Yeah.
Ammo's lost his sense of smell. But God, does he feel? His sense of touch is out of this world.
I had claimed that I would be able to tell the difference, right? So then I felt great that I was able to. It would have been so embarrassing if I couldn't tell the taste difference.
Well, I thought your big claim, to be fair, was the hearing one. Like you can, by snapping a Ritz and snapping a Jat. I refuse to change. That's the singulars, and we're rolling with it.
But
a Ritz and a Jat.
But it was quite clear.
So Ritz is singular and plural.
I've decided. Yep.
So
what about a Ritz?
Then is it Ritzes?
No, it's just
Have some Ritzes.
fuck. How does this start again?
It's like fish. You're saying it's like fish. A plural fish is fish.
I'm so upset.
It's
Actually,
deer.
wait. This is, neither here nor there. But like computer mice, or is it mouses?
Mice.
See, I think for some reason with the computer, it's
Mouses.
it's mouses.
Mouses.
Yeah, I got a couple of mouses in the shop. You got a couple of mice in the shop. You got an infestation.
For someone who's never worked in an office, this really shouldn't trouble you.
I think my brain would say mouses. My brain would say mouses, I think.
Mouses.
But
You would have said mouses for the animal as well.
Yeah, he can spell, but he cannot conjugate. It's a nightmare. Conjugate's just verbs, isn't it?
But I was happy that I could tell the difference quite easily with the sound of the snapping of a Jats was so clear.
So we should say
of a Jat. You fucking idiot.
Snapping of a Jat.
We should say just very quickly, so we had a live show in Newcastle on the weekend where we played out, as promised in the previous podcast, a Jats versus Ritz blind taste test. Actually, blind everything test. Mm-hmm. With Andrew Hamilton.
Except for the sight test, because we decided to test all 5 senses, and we did joke in the car that there should be a 6th sense. It's like, do you think Bruce Willis can still tell?
And I versed one of the audience. I think her name was Ali.
I missed that because I completely forgot we needed blindfolds. So I had to literally run to my car because the beautiful Newcastle Comedy Club that houses, I was like, we need blindfolds. And they're like, what about this hoodie that's been sitting behind the bar for a month? And I'm like, probably not that.
Luckily, you left us in capable hands of Tom and I to do crowd work.
I didn't come back and I was like, man, it's got to be quiet. They must really be explaining this game pretty well.
It's kind of like a video game when you leave the room and the NPCs stop doing anything.
It's just like The Office in The Sims. It's like, man, this house is not that all going on. Wonder what they're doing out there in the real world. It was very fun. I had no faith in the live podcast because we didn't plan it because we didn't expect anyone to come, and then it sold out.
Yeah,
big crowd, hot crowd, and yes, so we did the live Jats versus Ritz challenge, and I versed one of the crowd, and she beat me by 1 because she could tell the difference between rats and rats.
I did it on stage.
Rats and Jats. Ritz and
I've done it in my head several times during this podcast.
She was able to differentiate the smell, which I was not. Yeah, and I put that down to my broken.
No, well, I remember because you had the blindfold on, and I was wafting a Jats in front of your nose, and you didn't even know anything was there.
Where is it? It's like, mate, fucking, you can lick it. That's the vicinity we're talking about here. It was actually funny. I think that's the first time in our friendship that I've been like, oh yeah, like he must have done quite a lot of cocaine.
That was the first time?
It's not just chat, there's some physical evidence here. It's like an athlete with a bad knee.
You edit the podcast every week. You hear the heavy breathing.
I assume he's always had that. I think that's why he likes big dogs, because they can kind of take the blame for the breaths.
One thing we did talk about while you were running to the car was, did you ever be, when you were like in your 20s, high on ecstasy, do like a Jats challenge with your mates where you're like, because your mouth is so dry, you would eat a Jats because you have no moisture and you just couldn't even get it Damn.
Just quickly, when Andrew says one thing we did talk about, guess who introduced the topic?
I think like Andrew introduced the ecstasy, you introduced the crackers.
So
Like, hey guys, before we start peaking, maybe we should get a little bit because of snacks in. Is some cabanossi available?
You'd sit there with a mate and you both put a jazz in and it'd just race to who could like finish it first, and it would take a long time.
We didn't do that. We did the
Wheat Bix.
yeah, Wheat Bix without any liquid, and you had like, what is it, a minute to get it down? Or 30 seconds? Impossible.
Yeah, but are you talking just generally or when you're on ecstasy?
Just generally.
Yeah, okay.
It was a warm up
Yeah.
for our jaws. You got to stretch before the big night ahead. But yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't remember ever encountering a cracker while high. But I mean, now I'm a bit sad about it.
Got it. There's still time. Still time.
Next live show.
Dude.
How was the Vlog Heaven live show? It wasn't very funny, but it was very emotional.
They were very earnest up there and hungry. Just gnawing away at their faces.
No, I got to say, the Jats versus Ritz, because when we discussed on the podcast without any biscuits in front of us, I was like, I just couldn't even kind of contemplate what the difference would be between them. And then as soon as, I remember you talking about how crumbly they were going to be. As soon as I opened a packet, I couldn't get one out of the packet without it crumbling everywhere. And I was like, fuck, he's right.
Tensile strength, baby.
That was really funny because you guys like blindfolded at that point. And I'm like, Tom, give him the fucking biscuits. And he's there just like shaking handed, like he's playing Operation. Like, come on, get it out.
Come on, I just need one.
I gotta get this one cracker
One
out.
solid Ritz.
But not that we're sponsored by Jats or anything, but fuck me, they came out like a dream.
Someone told me in the audience that the Arnott's factory is based in the Hunter region in Newcastle.
I did hear that as well. They're like, yeah, this is a Jats town.
This is a Jats town. We don't take kindly to Ritz around here.
Just see two Jats like tied together with a piece of string over a power pole. Fuck, this is their territory. We better be careful.
That's even more interesting because when we asked people to like yell out if you're a fan of are you a Ritz or a Jats guy, some people did yell out for the Ritz. They must.
And they got booed quite heavily.
Yeah, it must be from Maitland or some shit. Driving in.
What about you talking about the table that you apparently that no one had no idea what you were talking about?
That was so because I did this horrible gig, like for anyone who just needs the context, at this like above a pub in Newcastle, just like the kind of pub where I heard someone like abusing their partner over the phone in the pokies about leaving Vegemite in the fridge. They were like, in the fridge, it's too fucking cold, you dumb cunt. Put it in the pantry. And I was there being like, man, this is going to be a whole one. This is good stuff. And then like, yeah, there was a table, like the locals table at the pub was shaped like a coffin. And I was like, what's the name of that pub again? And everyone in Newcastle was like, that doesn't exist. Whereas when Hammer was like, what was the BAYO strip club again? They're like, fucking number 5 or whatever it was.
Number 5, yeah.
Straight
that
in
was
there.
it.
Anyway, we should release it. I think, I don't know, if you're a flogger and you'd like to hear the live pod, let us know. We've got the recording.
Release the tapes, I say.
We got it. Yeah, we could get it out there. It could prove that it went well because currently we're just on a podcast telling everyone how well it went.
We did this thing. It was really funny. Take our word for it.
Or ask 87 people in Newcastle about it. The dream.
Yeah. We had some happy customers. I had to sign some boobs.
One boob or two boobs?
One boob. I signed a boob that I have a joke about cocaine up the ass, and a woman came up to me and asked me to do a photo with her that was naughty, and I was like, well, what does that even mean? And she's like, it can be whatever you want. I was like, well,
I would like you to stand near me without touching, and we both smile as your husband says, "Got it."
I was like, what's going on? So anyway, we settled on a straw hovering near her
That
eyes.
was so funny to me afterwards. They're like, well, how did that happen? Like, well, she asked. And I'm like, just say no.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, that's not how I got to where I am in life, Daniel, by saying no. I'm a yes man, if nothing else.
Indeed.
Hamo is encourageable. But yeah,
But also love my fans. You know,
great people.
If they want to get silly, they want to get weird. I want to help him out.
There you go. Hammer will do whatever you want on a photo. You heard it here first. He'll do anything.
If you buy tickets to my shows, absolutely, I will do it. I'll kill for
You
you.
don't have to buy it to his show. It's just a show he's on. He got 1/3 of the ticket sale. He'll pretend to blow coke up your ass.
Dude, is now a good time to mention your cameo?
Oh, yeah.
Cameo on Cameo. One of the greats.
I've done 5 cameos now.
Were any of them floggers or were they just general public, the GP?
They seem to be mostly Yeah Mad fans.
Sure.
And but I won. Gave me a $20 US tip, which was like double the cost of the original cameo. So I must have over delivered.
Well, look, you have said that if they ask, you'll do it. You'll do anything.
I'll do
for
anything.
your fans. So I assume there's going to be some pretty weird cameos coming in.
Just you wait. 2024 is going to be a big year.
What do you think that you did so well to justify the $20 tip?
Oh man, I told him an inappropriate joke, which he wanted me to. He joked about his wife being the dishwasher. I said on the internet a joke about loading the dishwasher. It was like another term for coming inside of a woman. Apparently,
It's great stuff, folks.
Yeah, I've always said misogyny pays.
it does. A lot of people love that joke. So,
Tom, I didn't realize you were writing for Hammer.
that's supposed to be private.
I didn't know it was a joke.
Don't know. No, just liked me, I guess.
Dude, that's nice.
But anyway, we're up to $100 Aussie in the Cameo account.
Dude,
That's huge.
That's huge.
Don't spend it all at once, you know?
Big money.
It's going well. It's a good year. Kicking off 2024 well.
That's
Fucking
20
oath.
packets of Jats.
Well, that's the one I would buy. You know,
Yeah,
of the two, right?
Are it's cheaper?
Okay, so
Marginally.
Marginally cheaper.
Marginally? Is this what you found as well?
Just like we're talking like 20 cents.
Yeah. You know,
It's really not that much.
It's weird. As the person who was handling the boxes, the Ritz comes in 3
Tom Witcombe, box handler.
box handler.
If you need a box handle, yeah, Tommy Witt's in there.
Box handler is Chelsea Handler's less successful brother. The Ritz.
I never thought she'd get a mention on this podcast, but here we are. Chelsea Handler enters the cabin.
The Ritz comes like in 3 different kind of vacuum sealed packages.
Foil wrappers.
Yeah,
or
like
something? Yep.
a packet of Oreos.
Silver tubes.
Yeah, whereas the Jats is just like a one kind of more like a packet of shape steel.
What you're saying is that Ritz are cage and Jats are free range.
They are, yeah.
That's the difference in cost. The Jats live a better life as a cracker. They're out there roaming the fields. The Ritz are a battery cracker.
Battery crack?
Yeah, just being pumped full of hormones to fatten up. That's why their bones are so brittle. They never move. They lack tensile strength, these goddamn Ritz.
I think it's pointless.
That is quite an accusation to level at this podcast, mate.
No, I'm talking about the Ritz. I don't want to have to open crackers 3 times.
Is it to imply they're fresher?
Well, yeah, but it's like if I'm opening a pack of Jats, like most of the time it's single serve. Like we're getting through that all in the one day.
You're doing a whole pack of Jats in one sitting.
Well,
Single serve.
Yeah, I mean, like between me and some colleagues, some cracker colleagues.
Not family and friends, colleagues only. This is a business expense.
I got to find out which of my colleagues has the driest mouth.
Dude, I can't believe we're still talking about this, but I'm just like, how many Jats are in a packet, do you think, versus how many Ritz? Jelly bean, guessing game, comp. What are you going?
Be at the Newcastle Comedy Club to find out this Saturday. We're doing it again.
We're coming back. It's a big return hit.
Well, I mean, you were talking about shrinkflation before we started the pod, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't know if Jats took a couple of crackers out of the bigger bag. You wouldn't know.
Well, there was very little air in the bag of Ritz because they were so kind of packed together, whereas the Jats was a lot of air.
A lot of air in there.
A lot of air in there.
It is a better life for those crackers, isn't it? The Ritz stealing each other's oxygen like Chilean miners underground.
Like a Thai football team in there.
That's still one of the all-time, like Elon Musk's response to that. Do you guys remember this?
No.
So when the Thai kids were trapped and they needed to get them out, Elon Musk like designed this thing like a submarine that could help extract them.
Yep.
And then there was like these professional divers who were like, oh, no, we'd prefer not to use that. We're just going to dive and get them ourselves. Then Elon Musk's response was like, you guys are probably pedophiles. That's a real thing. That's like before he bought Twitter, when he was just using Twitter. He was like, oh, you don't like my submarine? Yeah, you guys fuck kids for sure. That's why you probably trapped him down there, so you can fuck him in secret and save him.
Just so petty because they rejected his toy.
Yeah, when you're scubaing, no one can hear you scream. Dude, it's so funny.
I'm going to remember the next time a joke bombs. Just every time. You guys are probably nonsense. You know who loves that joke? People don't fuck kids, you weirdos.
I don't know if that would go well on stage or not. Just the very aggressive character. Like anytime the audience doesn't laugh, you just level another accusation at them. It just gets more and more extreme.
Well, that is essentially what I've been doing with one of my new bits, because I talked about how when I was in the juvie, the sex offender unit didn't laugh at my pedophile joke. So now I've been saying, if you didn't laugh at that joke, you're probably sex offended.
You know? Doubling down.
Yeah.
I laugh so hard every time. So everyone knows.
I didn't think it was funny.
I thought it was offensive to some people.
Not me. Just a lot of people during the month of November.
Why? What's?
The moustached community.
Oh, there we go.
I feel like the moustache thing. I never really weighed this up until I was watching a kids movie. Don't ask why. And they had like an evil Kermit, and it was just Kermit with a moustache.
Yeah.
I feel like
Checks
for children, it's like, hey, how do we tell these guys that someone is inherently evil? And it's like, give them a moustache.
That is a good point. It is. It's like the evil twin always has a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either a mustache or an eye patch. Those are the two.
Those are the two. That is true, actually.
Yeah.
And the eye patch is just such a greater commitment to evil.
Yeah.
He was trying to be such a cunt, he lost an eye.
They love the wiry mustache. Usually, like there's types of mustache that makes you look even more evil.
Okay, do you want
I'm
to...
thinking like, is it Jafar? Does he have a long mustache?
He's got like a goatee, I thought.
Oh yes.
But does he have the curly, the kind of curly thing?
Like a Dali, like one of those?
Yeah.
Coming up around. Going to look up Jafar here.
It's very strange when you see the people that have like the curly mustache in real life. Like I remember for a long time thinking that was just something that occurred in cartoons. And you see the people who've actually like got the mustache wax and they've got the little like curl at the end.
Oh, yeah, you can give it a little...
Yeah.
I've never done it. I don't think I want to.
Mustache grooming? Are you talking about?
Like the curl, like trying to get any particular shape. I've had an accidental handlebar before because I've just forgotten where it should end.
Do you use a mustache comb?
No. Are there those?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get them in Christmas crackers.
I thought you get fake moustaches at Christmas crackers.
I reckon the kinds of people who would twirl their mustache are the same kinds of people that wouldn't laugh at Hamo's joke, if you know what I'm saying.
They touch kids.
There it is. No room for subtlety on this podcast. That's what Jafar looks like. He's curled it, but on the goatee.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm wrong.
I was going to say Jafar is actually like the Venn diagram crossing over of how they show evil in like children's movies and like adult movies. Children's movies, facial hair. Adult movies, Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this guy's probably up to no good. What's he doing? Praying 5 times a day? That's some foreshadowing if I ever heard it. You gotta appreciate what Vladimir Putin did in invading the Ukraine for Russian actors. They get to be henchmen again. They had years out of the henchman roles.
Yeah.
And now they're back in the game.
Who were the henchmen when Russia was off the boil?
Middle Eastern people.
Middle Eastern.
Post
as the
9/11,
hench.
it's like, man, we need some terrorists. I know what they look like.
That's a good point. There must have been a tipping point. This seems like something you would know, Hammer, with your knowledge of 80s and 90s films. Is like, at what point did the evil guys stop? Like, what was the last big film to have a Russian evil guy and the first big film to have a Muslim evil guy? You know, like there would have been a moment because you're definitely right. There was definitely, you watch like 90s and they're all Eastern European.
Are there any diehards with Middle Eastern Muslim bad guys?
Who's the bad guy?
No, they're not. They're in one. They're German.
Ooh, yeah,
Yep.
like the traditional bad guy.
Actually, when they were brainstorming the plot of that movie, they were floating that the bad guys could be terrorists, and he didn't want that. he didn't want them to be terrorists. He wanted them to be just robbers. Right.
Right.
Then
Just heistmen.
Heistman at the Nakatomi Plaza, baby. But he wanted to go against that because, and I think they did talk about it being like Arab terrorists. It's like, no, that's been done to death. That's boring. And so
I was just thinking because
German heistman was more fun.
Top Gun Maverick kind of went the opposite direction, right? Because they were just like, there are bad guys. We're not going to say where they're from. We're not going to say who they're affiliated with. It's just like there are bad guys.
And they do live in a desert.
Yeah.
And I'll let you draw your own conclusions off the back of that.
They've done that with both the old Top Gun and the new one.
Oh, because I was thinking of the new one. The new one was the snow, wasn't it? Or am I misremembering Maverick?
I thought it was... Oh, no, maybe you're right. You're right. It was the snow.
Yep.
I take it back.
So they've gone hot bad guys and cold bad guys. But they're taking their shirts off anyway.
and both times just completely failed to mention, where these bad guys are located specifically.
Well, I like the idea that because that was, to drive people to join the Navy, it's just like America's like, they're bad because they're not us. Everyone who's not us is bad. What are you guys, stupid? They're not American. They don't say, hey, bro, want a Budweiser? Let's play football. Like, nah, they're evil. We should kill them.
That'd be such a funny reveal if the end of Top Gun Maverick turns out they were Canadian the whole time. It's like, is Tom Cruise organising an invasion of Canada?
Fire at will. Fire at will.
Hey, that's a bit aggressive, eh?
I think I just found your Reddit account, Hamo. I'm on r/movies. Muslims and villains in Hollywood films. Need help for my thesis. 3 upvotes, 29 comments. They say true... Wait, I'm trying to see what he's asking here. I'm writing a thesis on how the portrayal of Muslims in Hollywood compares to Nazis and Russians, when they were the monsters of the week, so to say. But it's starting to become apparent that outside the realistic war films, there aren't that many fantastical films that use Muslims as their ideals as villains. I'm going to leave that there. I don't think... This is an empty well.
3 sentences into the paragraph, and Tom's like, nope.
Well, I mean, the one that comes to mind where it was like right in the middle of like we're just bashing on the Middle East would be like True Lies. You've got Schwarzenegger. He's against Arab terrorists who just want to blow up the world, and you're like, all right, we're not getting very creative at this point.
Is True Lies the one where he convinces his wife that she's an agent, or she comes to believe she's an agent or something?
She gets tricked by a fake spy who is Bill Paxton.
We'd written Bill Paxton down. That's why I said it like that.
Take back everything you've said about Bill Paxton. Fantastic actor, Bill Paxton. He was in one of my favorite movies of all time, Aliens.
Write that down too.
Game over, man. Game over. But she's kind of getting seduced by him, but she was going to reject him anyway. But Schwarzenegger thinks his wife's having an affair.
And then
because
he's like pretending to be the guy in that scene where she does the dance, right?
Yeah,
Am I getting the right movie here?
So then she said that her life is so boring, and so he gets her to do this job for her, and then. She does the striptease while he's in the bedroom, but before he can do the reveal that it's actually him, they get kidnapped by Arab terrorists.
I just remember a scene where she's getting dragged out of the room, and he's with her, and she's like, "Leave it, I've got this."
Yeah.
And that's the only bit I remember.
Yeah, and then they get kidnapped, and then they're in like a torture room, and then she finds out that he's really an
agent,
secret spy, and he gets truth serum in him, and she just asks him all these questions, right?
I feel like truth serum used to be more of a device in film.
Yeah,
I reckon they stopped letting people use it as soon as they actually existed. They were like, when the government actually had it, like, all right, let's put the kibosh on that. Thanks, we don't need that in the discourse anymore.
Wait, is that truth serum?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that like a thing?
I
think you are right. There's like some kind of chemical compound that makes you
more likely to be loose-lipped.
It's called MDMA. Guys, look, I'm going to level you. I don't think I can finish this Jats in time. But I love you.
Like, man, I don't know why we were planning this terrorist plot, dude. I don't know what's wrong, man. I feel just got to love each other, bro.
Have you ever done mushrooms? Yeah, I feel like, because I know I really liked Homeland, and Homeland got criticized for portraying Middle Eastern people as terrorists, but like,
Some of them are, so
just saying.
what do you do?
It's not a conspiracy theory. But I really enjoyed it because apparently one of the scenes in the background, there's like graffiti in Arabic that's like "Homeland is racist," and like none of them spoke Arabic, so I didn't realize. So it's just like in the series, just like someone realized.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, a location they were going to use. And I was like, hey, but it's a pretty good show. I enjoy it.
I can't remember. Did they also, they got praised, I guess, for their portrayal of Claire Danes as like as a bipolar person, though, at least. So it wasn't all bad.
Wasn't all bad?
That's such a white thing. Like, yeah, it was kind of Islamophobic, but the portrayal of mental health was quite spot on to me.
If only someone asked a terrorist, hey, are you okay? Lives could have been saved.
I mean, according to that show, bipolar people are huge whores. She does ruin a lot of dudes in that show.
I mean, not untrue if you've seen it. She does whatever it takes to foil this plot. I'll jerk you off. I'll fuck that kid. 19.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that dude was quite young.
The one thing I took from that, like of a weird terrorist stereotype, is that they all drive Toyota Hiluxes. I don't know if that's like real or they were just sponsored by Hilux, but exclusively, without fail, any terrorist en route, it's like, yeah, we got 7 Toyota Hiluxes going. Whenever I see a Hilux, I'm like, look out. I don't think that's a trading. I think they're trying to destroy a building, not build one.
A Toyota Hilux gets turned into a bomb, and as someone gets blown away by it, they do the Toyota jump.
Oh, what a feeling.
Praise Allah.
Very good.
Yeah, but just for some reason, they decided terrorists drive Hiluxes, bro.
Yeah.
They are very brand loyal, just like to Muhammad. They like their thing. They don't like anyone else's thing.
Good show.
Don't know how much of that we're going to cut.
You don't?
A fair amount.
I'm finding I don't know if you could hear, I'm getting like the tummy grumbles.
Because you're fasting.
Because I'm fasting. Right, we talked about it last time on the pod.
What is this, Ramadan?
Yeah, I'm on day 1, so I haven't eaten since 8 p.m. last night. It's now around 6 p.m., so we're at about 23-hour mark.
Yeah.
I've had nothing but
Gee, that maths
water.
was so close to right. So close.
Hey, he's a speller, not a counter.
22 hours.
Yeah,
So I have had nothing but water, and now I'm having some sugar-free electrolytes.
Do you feel more alpha than when you started?
No, I don't yet, but ask me on day 3.
He's organised 3 semi-professional boxing bouts with like Eddie Hearn already. What are you hoping to get out of this?
It's a journey of self-discovery, I think.
And what have you found out so far?
I'm hungry. Is what I found out so far.
I think anyone who's listened to even 10 minutes of this podcast could have predicted this outcome. Hey, man, don't worry about testing the hypothesis. This one's in the bag.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Do you reckon you could hear it through the microphone?
Do you reckon?
Like a fucking stethoscope. Hammo's grumbling.
That'd be so sick if we could.
Do you know what? Have you done the thing where you're like picturing what you're going to have for your first meal? Like, is this supposed to kickstart another diet, or is this like get through this, then cheat the fuck out, bucket of popcorn chicken, $10 currently at KFC, good deal. Just
I wasn't gonna do anything like that to spoil myself. I was just gonna go back to like just normal non-fat cunt food.
You think a box of popcorn chicken is spoiling yourself?
Can we just say Hammer used the word normal there, also followed by the phrase non-fat cunt food. What are we doing here, man? Are you familiar with the concept of paradox?
We're gonna capture a tummy grumble at some point.
I would love if your stomach made mouth noises. You put the mic down. Like, help me.
So I'm slightly panicking now because if this is how I'm feeling on day 1, what am I going to be like on day 3?
So how hungry are you?
I didn't think I was hungry until suddenly now, and now I'm feeling.
Mid-pod, you getting a bit snackish? All that Jats talk.
Well, that's why I was thinking, like, if I just try and not move much over the next few days, like, and I was going to try and sleep for most of it. Can I just sleep?
That you're doing a fast, and your logic was, I should hibernate. That's what I should do. I'm a big bear. I'm going to build a little hut in the woods, climb in there while the snow season happens.
Is that so crazy?
Then crawl back out and go to Perth and eat salmon fresh out of the river.
Is that so crazy? I want to do things that are not going to make my body more hungry.
You're fucking Bart the Bear, aren't you? They just shaved you down, put you in prison for a bit, you came out.
I say to chicks, you want to see my cave?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's sick. I love that you're genuinely planning to hibernate. And it's not a bad strategy. Like, I'll give you that. But, like, the thing is, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, just stop then. No one's forcing you.
Yeah, I still don't get, like, what do you... I know
I listened to a podcast.
Tom is goal-oriented, Andrew, and this just seems frivolous.
I listened to a podcast. It gives your whole body a reset. It's like you detox. It's supposed to be really good. I'm on a journey of self-discovery because it's like one of those things that I would never do. So then I'm like, oh, let's just do it.
Yeah,
see
do
what
something
happens.
different. Sure. I think like I get the reset when I drink heaps. Like, you know that thing where you just like have like a huge night where like the hangover kicks in like late afternoon the next day, and then you're just like, oh, I can't keep doing this.
So if the hangover kicks in late afternoon, when you wake up, how do you feel? Do you
Fine.
you're totally fine?
Yeah.
So you're
Totally fine. You're not still drunk?
Obviously.
But like you feel drunk.
You don't feel drunk because you've slept. You're like, this is all right.
Yeah.
It's like after the Opera House show, I got fucking shit-faced. Then we had to come pick up your keys. And yeah, Mary drove, and I don't remember that very well.
Oh, really?
I don't remember. I went to your house, and then we like went back there, and I'm like, I don't remember entering this building.
The way you describe your reset sounds like me just having a reality check, you know, where I'm just
Is
like...
that not a reset? Dude, when I turn my computer on and off, I'm like, wake up, cunt. Welcome to reality. This software update's going to mean nothing to you.
When you're saying, I can't keep doing this, I've got to change, and like, I'm too old for this shit.
Is that not a reset?
I'm talking like your body, like your actual internal organs having a reset, like they're flushing out. That's more mental.
Right. So just trying to clear out the pancreas.
Apparently the T cells move around or something, and it's good for you. It's good. It's good for your body.
It's good for longevity.
Yeah,
I've
longevity.
heard. It's meant to kill cancer cells.
There we go.
This description is giving me a lot of read the headline, not the article energy.
Absolutely. Well, I was listening to a podcast, but I was zoning. I was just listening to the kind of, this is good.
I read the title of a podcast. And here we
Read the
are.
description. Oh man, hosted by Acast. I should do this diet.
Have either of you guys ever had an enema?
Nah, that's when I put the hose up your ass, right?
Yeah.
Have you?
No, I've not, but I've had friends who have. And I always thought when you talk about reset, like that kind of fresh start, like...
Sorry, can we just appreciate anyone had an enema? Tom being like medical, like factual. Is that the hose up your ass? Is that how they fucking just pump that hose up your ass, bro?
That's colonics, right? That's what they call colonics?
I don't know whether it's between an enema and a colonic is, but yeah, I'm talking about the hose up the ass. So let me start again. Anyone ever had a hose up their ass?
Yeah, but not for medical reasons.
No, but I hooked up with this hippie chick a little while ago who was trying to convince me that it's really good and like important. She like does it all the time.
Yeah, okay.
A hippie chick? Really?
Yeah.
That's a level of cleanliness you wouldn't expect.
There we go. Yep.
Do you think? Yeah, I don't know.
And she was swearing by it. She was like, it's so good for the body. But it also seems like quite invasive.
No, I think it's meant to be. I think like it's one of those things where
Quite invasive, is it? The
hose up the
thing up
arse
your
to
ass or
me.
the water being shot out of it?
it's one of the most invasive uses of a hose I can imagine.
Like I would, yeah.
Or which bit's invasive? The hose, the water, or the fireman?
I've seen a dude like butt chug beer from a hose.
I've seen someone try to butt chug something. It's quite mesmerizing.
Yeah, it is.
Because like some goes down and then a little bit comes back.
Yeah, and it kind of gulps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that the same thing?
His butt chugging a beer, the same as an enema. Tom, you want to?
What did the hippie chick say? Is that
She was actually butt chugging a kombucha. At that point, a kombucha, obviously.
Kombucha.
Different emphasis.
No, because I think that's
you
one of
had
those
one?
things. No, I've not, but a friend of mine did, and I remember thinking like, oh, that sounds same thing. oh, restart. Let's empty it out. Let's start again. And then it sounds like that would be a good thing to do. But apparently it's like, no, your body's not meant to just start from zero again. Like I think scientifically they talk about like your gut biome or whatever. Like you're not meant to, because you get rid of all the good stuff as well as the bad stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a mate who had like a parasite, and he had to get a poo transplant. Have you heard of these?
I have, yeah.
What?
This is where they put someone else's poo in you. Like someone else has a healthy poo, and they put that healthy poo inside you the way you'd expect to enter.
Were you the donor?
Dude, everyone in the share house was vying for it. Everybody was fucking pumped. He's like, oi, I need a poo transplant. And everyone was like, test me. Test me now.
They just inject shit up your ass or someone else's.
In my eyes, it's just they kind of like shove it in there. Just like
Take a running
seems
start.
less medical than injecting it.
I don't think because I assume there's like some kind of dilation scenario, and then they're just kind of pushing it up because they got to get it properly up there.
Oh man!
And like your body kind of like looks at that shit and is like, this is what shit should be because your shit's been wrong, and then it changes. So what I'm saying is you can eat. There are other options.
So that guy at some point said, like, I won't take shit from nobody except for that one guy.
Except for the guy with the best shit in the world. Imagine being that guy, a real in-demand shit donor.
Demand shit donor.
Like come from a Melbourne Cup winner.
Dude, his shit has won so many races. Unbelievable. Yeah, Guy Waterhouse actually owns this fella. Selling his shit on the reg. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never had my shit tested. I hope it's okay. I don't think, to be fair, judging by my diet and lifestyle, probably not. But could be.
Next Flog challenge, healthiest shit.
Log cabin.
Log cabin. Live at the Newcastle Comedy Club this Saturday.
We're going back. We're going back to Dewey. We love Dewey.
This shit is mostly just jats.
This shit contains so many Ritz. It actually comes in a vacuum sealed bag. It's unbelievable. Should I do a pilot ad read?
Oh, sure.
I feel like we've been doing the ads like right at the end recently.
We should, yeah, which is terrible for our sponsors.
Yeah, I feel bad for the good people at Pilot. We did 2 live. We're definitely gonna post them. They're gonna be on the Instagram somewhere.
Do we need to get permission? So because we got a crowd member in Newcastle to read a pilot ad read, do we need to get permission from her to broadcast it? Surely.
I got her in my DMs. Tarinda. Can I ask her?
Was it Tarinda?
It was Tarinda.
Yeah, you see that funny thing. It's like sometimes it's hard to choose between 2 names. So that's very funny. I liked it. Jesus Christ, Hammer, this is long.
Is it? Sometimes I get a roll. I can't tell.
This is like 4 paragraphs. So Hammer's written one for me this week. Brought to you by Pilot. Hard made easy. G'day, floggers. We've all heard of a posh wank where you wrap your todger in a franger and really go to town. I have no qualms with telling you there's been some times when I have treated myself. Like recently, when I performed at the Sydney Opera House, I was feeling 1 part patriotic and 2 parts aroused.
Were you?
I mean, you had it capped. But sometimes, as I've gotten older, I've found myself struggling to stay hard, even when I'm wanking in the Opera House bathrooms. I had a dressing room. Of course, Pilot's ED medication is fantastic for use when I'm ploughing my wife like an Australian wheat field. But isn't it nice to also just treat yourself on occasion? Pilot's ED medication brings a whole new meaning to the term posh wank. Whenever I'm on Pilot, I feel like I'm wielding Excalibur's sword down there.
Wow.
Go to pilot.com.au and use floggers20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, hard made easy.
Innovative, exciting, brave. I like it.
That was a very schizophrenic pilot ad from you, Hammer.
I think you might be hungry. I think Hammo's at home being like, do pilots count as a sugar-free electrolyte?
Counting the calories?
Munching ED meds. Arr, arr. I mean, are we going to Excalibur? I thought Excalibur was the sword, not Excalibur's sword.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb.
I think Excalibur's... Yeah, you are right. There we go. The Excalibur sword? What do you say? The Excalibur.
Yeah.
Someone who I bet has watched more than one movie about King Arthur.
Is-
if I had to guess, Hammer. I thought you could have worked that out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're not all gems. I think there were some moments in there. I think it's brave to talk about posh wanks.
Having a wank at the Opera House.
There we go.
I kind of, for the the cost of performing at the Opera House, I feel like I should have.
Yeah. How was the Opera House? Have we talked about it on the
Yeah,
pod?
I mean, you guys have never even asked me. I asked how your fucking boring ass family Christmas was. I did something important. And you guys could care less.
I asked you the morning after. You were too drunk to remember. And your answer was, it was fine.
Yeah, I tend to be pretty honest when I'm drunk. It was cool. Like it's one of those things where like I was just performing like so much in the lead up to Christmas. Like I was on tour with Steve Hofstede, like going around, and I'd be like literally flight every day for like 5 days, and then like that was just kind of like another show, but everyone there kind of made it seem like it was a big deal, which was cool. Like a lot of people turned up who like I kind of knew either like well or like tangentially or whatever. Like, Dan, Opera House, you mate. Like, that felt nice.
Yeah,
and then my cousin came up to me and she was like, well, I actually performed here as part of the school orchestra when I was 12 and we're in the big room. And I was like, wow, okay.
No one cares about that. That's not a brag.
I just appreciate that. Like, people be like, hey man, honestly, so happy for you, but here I'm going to slag you off a little bit. It was very Australian. It made me feel comfortable because I can't take compliments except for this year.
But what
I can.
This year?
I'm a sexy boy.
was
You are
that?
indeed.
Was that person doing that? Was it banter? Was it a joke?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Just her taking the piss.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was funny. I appreciate it. She's like, oh, that was so amazing. Great, congratulations. But
Yeah, okay.
Out of the big room 18 years ago, cunt. So
Yeah.
It's
what have
been
you
done
doing?
in the family.
Yeah, I mean, like being from Sydney, like everyone, like not everyone, but like so many people have done something at the Opera House at some point. It's usually like school related. Like it's not their show. Like it's not just like I went to the Opera House to see John. Like it's like I was a parent of a private school child and they played in orchestra and I felt obligated to attend this thing and take the day off work and resented it the whole time.
Yeah.
Emma, what
Speech
have you
day.
done at the Opera House?
I'm trying to remember when I met Pope John Paul II.
I love that you call him Pope John Paul II. Every time. It's never the second. It's always like Pope John Paul, the sequel.
Well, I call him
When you go to movie school.
John Paul II.
Pope John Paul.
Two Pope.
Tui, Tui was called by his mates, Tui.
Tui.
Yeah.
They call him
Tui. I know
JP Tui.
that,
JP squared.
I'm just trying to remember because I met him at St. Mary's Cathedral, but I think there might have also been an event at the Opera House as
I
well.
met him at St. Mary's Cathedral,
a
then
hang.
he invited me back to his hotel room.
So, hey man, you want to go come hang backstage at the Opera House?
Do you reckon the reason the Popemobile is all clear is so I can be like, hey, no touching. Everyone can see. No kids in here. None. Look, all the way down to my feet. Clear. Transparent glass. I'm not a touchy Pope. I can't do a Polish accent. I got nothing for you.
Well, I mean, he was the reason I think why they had to make the Popemobile bulletproof.
Was he? He was the first Pope they shot at.
Did he get shot or shot at? I think he might have got shot.
Did he? I didn't think he was 50 Cent caliber, He got shot and then he got his deal.
That's how he got his street cred.
So I'm just imagining it. Just like, because have you guys seen Get Rich or Die Trying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's the thing, after 50 Cent gets shot, he like talks different.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, my voice is different. And it's like his like proper rap voice.
It sounds better.
Yeah, the chick's like, it sounds better. Then he like, so there's like, you can find me in the club, like just like straight into it. It's like imagining the Pope's like doing these like squeaky prayers early doors. And then he gets shot and he's like, whoa. I think my prayers sound more holy now. And they're like, yeah, John, it sounds better. Amen.
Should we look up if he got shot?
I don't think Pope John Paul got. I mean, I hope he did because, like, in my experience, popes were generally defenestrated rather than shot.
Defenestrated?
Yeah,
I
thrown
don't
out a
know what
window.
Oh. What?
Yeah, to throw. I think it's like a king or a pope. You throw him out a window to kill him. It's defenestration.
Defenestration.
Like, how often must that have happened?
we
Here we
need
go.
we need a name for this.
13th of May 1981, in St. Peter's Square in Vatican City, John Paul II was shot and wounded by Mehmet Ali Agkar. Well, he was entering this.
I'm not touching that.
Just rewind the podcast 25 minutes.
While he was entering the square, the Pope was struck twice and suffered severe blood loss.
I didn't realize that's why he was called Pope John Paul II.
Yeah. 2 bullets. There wasn't even John Paul I. Agca was apprehended immediately and later sentenced to life in prison by an Italian court. There you go. So he took 2 bullets, and that's how he got his street cred. But that's
He got his street cred.
but
Before that, he was just a lowly bishop.
But yeah, so the Popemobile, I think, was like just thick glass.
Nice.
Yeah.
You also probably can't throw him out it. Another defenestration avoided. Bulletproof glass.
There you go. I'm glad that was right because I'm tired of stumbling into facts, like not being sure that it's like totally wrong.
Look, man, I'll be completely honest with you. You know at least 300% more than I would think. I having like a 20-minute conversation with Hammer. You're like, I think you know some things, but not that much. And then now that we're like 20 hours deep into this thing, I'm like, what hasn't this cunt seen? Like, what hasn't he looked up at some point and be like, wait. Like somehow a combination of ADHD and cocaine has given you this superpower that you're in fact a database.
I used to spend so much time, like I'd watch movies on cocaine at my house for like days at a time, and the whole time I'd be on my phone on Wikipedia reading like about the history of the movie and the production and anything weird that went on.
A true savant.
There we go.
Did it say why he shot the Pope? Because like obviously old mate has a name that would suggest he was driving a Hilux. Like, let's just get to the bottom of it. I don't want to, I don't want to.
Old mate Mehmet.
Old mate Mehmet.
That's
like Turkish, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're on the money.
Bang.
Turkish assassin who murdered Lev. I don't know. I mean, is he an assassin? I mean, an assassin would assume it would imply that he was hired by someone else.
No. Check this out. Are you an assassin if you've never killed anyone?
Attempted assassin.
Like, are you like still an assassin before your first kill,
That's interesting.
or are you just like a? Because like a hitman, like you can get a hit before, but an assassin, it implies you've assassinated. Like you're an apprentice assassin. Like you're there watching while the guy shoots the guy, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna want to hit him in the head.
It turns out
Anyway, go get me a chalky milk.
It turns out he also did kill another person.
So he's an assassin.
The assassin.
Congrats, Mehmet.
He killed a Turkish journalist.
Fuck, you must have done a good job to get promoted straight to Pope.
All the way from Turkish journalism to Pope.
Yeah, wow, this guy's
that was
promise.
okay. So that was he shot Jean Paul II after he escaped from a Turkish prison.
I didn't know
There
John
you
Paul
go.
was in a Turkish prison.
Yeah, they didn't agree with his beliefs.
He was pardoned in Italy, and now he's paroled. He's back among us in Turkey.
Wait, Mehmet got released.
Mehmet got released.
You gotta
he
have
got
him on-
pardoned.
you
I mean,
gotta-
that's one of the things about Catholicism and popes. They're probably like, well, forgive him.
Yeah, I'll just say 10 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
But was there a reason? Did they say like was he like just a psycho, like just a crazy guy, or like was it some kind of terrorist thing? I assume not. It sounds like just a lone wolf attack.
He's a Turkish assassin. It's just 33 years after his crime, he visited Vatican City to lay white roses on the tomb of the recently canonized John Paul II, and said that he wanted to meet Pope Francis, but he was denied. Hey, I promise I'm not going to shoot him. I know.
I mean, I wouldn't do it again.
I know there's question marks all over it. As a youth, he was a petty criminal. He claims to have received 2 months of training in weaponry and terrorist tactics in Syria.
In Syria. Okay, well I mean, I don't want to homeland it, but that definitely implies a little bit of errorism, Tay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he worked for an ultranationalist Turkish organization called Grey Wolves.
There we go.
Inside us there are 2 wolves. They're grey.
Tom Hardy, really? You're bringing him into this? Tom Hardy, the founder of Rome?
There we go. All right, I think we've learned enough about Mehmet.
Yep.
Still at large. Still out there.
He's still out there.
How funny is that? I want to meet the second. I want to meet the new pope.
Maybe. Hey, I'm hoping to go to Turkey in July.
Why?
For my sister's getting married there.
In Turkey?
Well, she's marrying a Turkish man.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
There we go.
Would have been a strange choice otherwise.
Yeah.
I never pictured Sister Hamilton to be a devout Muslim woman. Because they are very Muslim in Turkey these days.
Are they?
Yeah, Erdogan.
I haven't kept up to date.
Prime Minister.
So
very, very not a good guy.
So I'm going to ask permission to go, as I need to do.
You're going to ask Mehmet?
Community corrections. I'll try and look him up when I'm there.
Do a shit gone sideways? Write it off on tax?
Record shit's gone sideways with Mehmet.
With the guy that shot
Look,
trouble.
man, I was just trying to kill the Pope. And then they caught me, chucked me in prison. I don't speak Italian. I'm fucking Turkish, bro. They're trying to give me spaghetti. I'm like, this shisha looks shit.
But so I'm going to ask permission to go there for my sister's wedding.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee they'll say yes to that. So I may need to line up comedy gigs in Turkey. And
Wow.
because they're more like that's why they gave me permission to go to Bali, right?
Yeah.
So I've
when's
looked up.
the wedding?
There are 2 Turkish comedy rooms that are English.
Really? Okay. What? Surely in Istanbul.
Correct. Yes.
When is the wedding?
So she just got married yesterday in New York.
I think you might have missed your chance, Hammer.
No, she got married yesterday in New
I
York.
understand, Tom. Turkey's behind us in terms of time zones.
They're having like they're in New York. They had like the New York ceremony, but then they're going to Turkey for like the Turkish version.
The Turkish version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the wedding. If that
there's no cake. It's just a huge thing of jelly with powdered sugar on it. You know, Turkish weddings. You've been there.
with all of his family, right? So
Sure.
so I'll go for the Turkish version in July.
You missed the American
I
version.
missed the American version.
Somehow you're not getting that.
Hopefully it's got
Visa, I don't think.
subtitles.
I hope so too. But so that'll be fine if I can go. But we'll see.
Is he a Muslim fella? Or is he just Turkish?
I think he's just Turkish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've never been a Muslim wedding, gone Jewish wedding, gone Christian wedding, gone atheist wedding, gone Scandinavian wedding, which is basically an atheist wedding. Yeah. But never Muslim one.
Been to a white wedding, been to a white wedding, been to a white wedding. I would love to go to like an Indian wedding. Those
I
always
went
sound
to one recently.
yeah.
But I just went to like the reception part of it.
Okay.
I've been Indian wedding. I forgot about that one. But it wasn't like full blown Indian. It was like, it was funny because the groom, who is Indian, who's my mate, made the joke during his speech at the white wedding, which was the next day. They did them all back to back. You would have loved it. Very convenient. He was like, "Yeah, sorry, mum, for having this piss week 100-person wedding. I know that it's really embarrassing. There's not more like 900 more cousins here."
yeah.
Because like his mum was like, "Just invite more people. Just invite them. Come on." I'm like, what do you think this is? You're embarrassing the family.
There was a lot of drums, a lot of dancing.
Yes.
I was impressed with their quads.
Did you wear the? I fucking forget what it's called. Damn it! Because we were requested to wear the outfit for that bit.
No.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with their quads of these Indian men because there's a lot of jumping up and down.
Oh man, we didn't get any of that.
I was like, these guys are strong.
My mate had to like lead one of the dances,
Oh.
and he, despite living in it until he was like 16, just completely fucked it. But it was really funny because his like sister was on the side trying to show him the moves. And then afterwards, his cousins revealed that they actually fucked it. So no one knew what they were doing.
Oh.
Right.
It's just like 10 Indian dudes just winging it. And a bunch of white people being like, this is so uplifting. It's incredibly inspiring.
We don't
It's
know.
beautiful stuff.
We don't know.
I was like, man, that was an amazing dance, my friend. I love your culture. But yeah, it was chill. That was fun. I forget what it's called. It was like the singing and dancing bit. It's got like a special name. Like it's not like the ceremony. It's just like 3 days or something, isn't it? Yeah,
a lot of
back
stuff.
to back to
There's
back.
like he had like 6 or 7 separate events.
I like that white people are attempting to make their weddings 3 days now by including like drinks at the pub the night before.
And a barbecue afterwards. Yeah.
No, it's a 3-day event.
It's a big part of our culture.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I got a Bucks party coming up. My God.
Yeah, you're not looking forward to it.
No,
I turned down a good mate's Bucks party recently because I was just like it's going to be just alcohol and drugs, and I'm trying to stay away from that. And they're like, no, it won't be like that. It won't be like that at all, man. And then afterwards, they're like, yeah, that was all it was.
Yeah, I've not met a Bucks party that doesn't like. If you were to do like a pie graph, like at least 2/3 alcohol and drugs, like maybe 1/3 meal, like. But usually also go-karting. For some reason,
Yeah.
Go-karting, strippers, pub crawl. Like, what else are you doing?
I've
Like
never-
paintball sometimes.
Paintball, done paintball.
I've never heard in my adult life go-karting suggested outside of a Bucks party.
True.
Like, just at no point, like, hanging out with the fellas, like, oi, you know what would be sick? Go-karting. But when there's suddenly 20 people who need something to do at 10 a.m., because that's when Bucks parties start now for some fucking reason. Lads, what about go-karting? You know, like driving that we complain about on a regular basis? What if we did it really small?
Do it small. Yeah, I put go-karting alongside the Australian reptile park of things. Every time I see a sign, I'm like, I should do that, and I never will.
I went to the Australian Reptile Park as a child.
Oh, did you?
My mum took me and showed me a kangaroo. This is like her favorite story. And she was like, look, Daniel, a kangaroo. And like held me out to the kangaroo. And the kangaroo punched me in the head.
What?
Yeah, just clocked me. It's like back in the day when like, you know, enclosures were smaller. I can only assume.
Did you cry like a little bitch?
Oh, absolutely. I was 3. I
Park's
fucking
like,
hit him back.
Park's like, technically we're not liable for this. It's not a reptile. We have no jurisdiction
not
over that
represent
marsupial.
us.
I'm just imagining like he punches me, then I punch him back, and I'm like, yeah, it's a kangaroo for you're a dog cunt. Fucking come outside your cage and say it, you dog.
Are you sure it was a kangaroo and not just like a wallaby? Just like
I was
in
3,
in your
bro.
recollection, it was.
I don't remember any of this. Obviously, the brain damage from the punch. From these punching kangaroos, they'll bloody get you.
We saw a bunch of kangaroos. Remember when we were in, was it Coffs, when we stayed at the...
Yes!
We saw a shitload of them.
Near like a nature reserve, accidentally. Big lizard, love a big lizard, and then heaps of kangaroos, including a Joey in a pouch. Red hot.
Joe Patch is pretty good.
Very good.
A whole crew of them just hanging out on a patch.
And that was when you swam at the beach. They're like, I would swim there. Bit sharky. I still remember that.
Bit sharky.
That's like my all-time Australian, just like, it's a bit sharky. You probably wouldn't go there. A bit sharky. How much of what percentage of a shark is a bit sharky? I'm thinking any percentage of a shark. Even if it was just a dismembered tail, I'm like, I don't want to swim here anymore. I'm out. But wait, sorry, Opera House, you did ask. The one thing that I found funny about the Opera House, I got there late because of course I did, I'm always late. And it was like 15 minutes before showtime and I was just like, hey, what do we need to do? And it's just like, it's the Opera House, so it's like very serious. So there's like 3 people kind of showing you like what to do at any given time, and like they've got headsets and they're communicating with each other just in an entirely unnecessary way for stand-up comedy. And like there were 3 choices for playlists: classic, jazz, modern. I was like, can I just put my music on? And like, no.
Wow, really?
You must choose one of the 3 playlists: classic, jazz, or modern. Notice that opera was not an option.
And I'm assuming classic doesn't mean like classic 90s hip hop. It means...
Imagine if it did. Imagine if I really played myself on that one. It's just like, oh man, I didn't realize you meant Nate Dogg and Warren G. That's a shame. No Ashanti? Oh, what a disaster.
So I'm assuming you went modern?
Yes, I went modern. I didn't hear it, but I did make fun of it during the show. I was like, I hope you guys enjoyed modern as a genre. And the other one that I didn't realize, and I didn't know about, they have their own canteen.
Oh.
Like a little Opera House canteen upstairs. Like a little tuck shop. You go up there, it's like a cafe, you can order stuff.
But like just for the acts.
Yeah, I believe so. I think the people who work there probably can.
Oh,
as
right,
well.
sure. But yeah, but not for ticket
the punters.
Yeah, you can't fucking get in there. Neither are you. You got more chance to get into Turkey, you dog.
I don't know. I'm trying to join an under 13s orchestra at the moment.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in. I gave it a red hot go. But I know it was quite like a broad menu. Like, I got like teriyaki chicken because like, you know, I'm a white guy, and there was like burgers and there was like salads and pasta and stuff. Like it was actually pretty legit, and it was reasonably priced. Wasn't free.
And
Thought it might have been free.
Were there
Yeah.
any free drinks in the green room?
No way.
Nothing?
I had to walk out to the main bar, buy my beers, walking back into the thing.
Seriously, you had to with the punters.
Yeah, with
The riffraff.
the undesirables. Could have got he bloody got shot out there. Mehmet might have been around.
Went out there, mimicked blowing cocaine up some woman's ass, and got my beers and went back.
You know how it is. I give the fans what they want.
You know, comedy.
Yeah, but no, it was quite funny. My favorite thing was like they took it all like very seriously. Like asking them to do anything was like very intensive. Like they were lovely and they were trying to help, but like I guess they just weren't used to like anyone asking anything of them. Because like I think when we were there was like some like New York 1920s style like cabaret show and like some circus, which just kind of happens and then whatever. Whereas I'm there just like kind of walking in, getting beers, watching a bit of the show, like walking back in, like it's way more casual. And there was this one door that was like a security door that just wouldn't close. And I was like, and they were like really serious about it. They're like, you got to use your little scanny thingy. Like you got to keep going. Like you can't leave any doors open. Like this is like a security thing. And there's just door wide open. So I tried to tell someone, I was like, hey man, the door's open. And it's like this guy, like full suit, serious head, just like, what? And I'm like, the door over there, it's open. And he's like, I don't understand. And I'm like, the door's open. Like you can get backstage now because the door that's supposed to be locked is open. Yeah. And he was like, I need to get my manager. And the manager came out and he's like, what seems to be the problem? And I'm like, your door's open. And he's like, oh, which one? And I was like, fuck, I see where you're in charge. You know, like, Jesus Christ. And so I went over and I like showed him the door and he's like, oh yeah, that happens sometimes. And I'm like, you got a fucking beepy thingy? Like I'm being yelled at because I'm going through the wrong door and this door's just open now. And he's like, yeah, because sometimes there's wind. And it's a heritage building, so we can't adjust the door. So the wind just keeps it blown open. And I was like, man, thank God there's no fucking popes in here. You know? They would be shot in an instant. Absolutely no security.
So lucky there wasn't any Turkish assassins floating around. You'd be in trouble.
So you have no idea what was on the modern playlist?
Couldn't tell you a single song.
What do you reckon? What's the newest song on the modern playlist, do you think? How late do they get? Do you reckon they're in this decade?
100%.
You think so?
I think so. In my head, like a lock for the modern playlist at the Opera House would be like Breeze Block by Alt J.
Okay, so you're still 20. That's still 2010s.
Is it
2000s even? Sure. There's any 2020s. Like, what would you? I reckon Vance Joy's Riptide is 100% on the modern playlist.
Lock that.
I was thinking some Casey Chambers or some Missy Higgins, something like that.
Oh yeah, Higgins maybe. But like, I guess what are they? They kind of do everything at the Opera House, right? Like. I'm just trying to imagine, like, they just want an inoffensive, kind of no sweary. Like, surely they're just going like Triple J, Hottest 100 is it state owned? So they're just kind of looking at other ABC shit? Like, you reckon?
But ABC's federal, right?
I don't know. Who owns the Opera House? Who owns the Opera House?
I think it's its own thing. It's in the Opera House, I'm pretty sure, is a private company.
Oh, like a trust or something?
I don't know.
Fuck. All right. I don't know. I just assumed the government owned it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
But they're sticklers for a rule.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. It was like they were sticklers for rules, horrendously inefficient, and also quite expensive. So it did seem government owned.
Super government, yeah.
If anything, it was bloody communists. No?
Do we want to do? So we're an hour and 2 in.
Shit.
Do we want to do Hamo's movie pitch?
I would love to do Hamo's movie pitch as I stare at his bare foot.
There we go.
Just a little wriggle. I got to say, your nails look far healthier and kept up than I would have expected.
Yeah?
There's some good looking
nails.
nails.
You think I'd have some like hobbit feet or something going on there?
I like hobbit feet. Just like maybe some kind of old rugby injury or something, just some kind of mangled toe. These are far superior to my feet.
I had a mate who was a country boy, big footy player, but he also he had cows stomping his feet so many times he doesn't have toenails anymore.
Just none.
None. They stopped growing back. Kept losing them, just stopped growing back.
Is that like a real issue, like health wise, or do your feet just kind of harden the fuck up?
I don't know. What does a toenail do? Like, why are they necessary? It's like climbing trees and stuff, isn't it?
Dude, I don't know.
I think initially that was kind of the point.
So what you're saying is your mate is on the ground. Can't even get up a ladder, this bloke. Goes to the doctor, he's like, they're not growing back. It's like, damn it, I just finished that tree house. Guess the Jungle Book's out for me. Dude, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. I know that I don't think the tree thing is why, like, do you guys ever have that clench thing when you're falling asleep? Like, you're drifting off.
Think you're falling?
Yeah. And that's because you used to sleep on branches, and that would get your body to grab the branch before you fell.
Oh, okay.
That was a thing.
Oh,
it's like a hangover from that.
That's like, because like sometimes I feel like it's like I'm dreaming that I'm like falling through the sky or something like that. Shouldn't I be dreaming that I'm falling out of a tree? If that's
why?
Well, if you're saying that like internally my body still thinks that, right?
It's just like an internal biological mechanism for your body, like when sleeping, to like not let go of anything that it's gripped onto, just in case you'd fall out of the tree and hurt yourself.
It feels very real when it happens, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm like, fuck! Oh, it's all right. I'm in bed. I'm fine.
So
Do you ever have those dreams? I used to have night terrors. Do you ever have those?
I've not had night. Not really.
I
I don't
used to
think.
have
Wasn't
this
it a
one.
night terror and a nightmare?
I used to have this black figure that would lay on my chest and
Oh.
be choking me to death.
yeah.
Wow.
What's that called? It's
Why's the figure got to be black, dude? Couldn't it be a white figure
And his
or
name was
a rainbow figure? Let's get some diversity in these night terrors, bro.
All right, so he's Middle Eastern, right? And he's on there.
I just had this Canadian guy on my chest. Someone's choking the shit out of me.
But then I would realize that I was dreaming, and so I'd be able to like wake up from the dream, and then I'd be awake, and then the black figure would jump on my chest and start choking me again. I realized that I was still dreaming.
Oh,
It was a dream within a dream.
dude, Inception.
It was Inception.
That was you, bro.
Years before. And so I thought...
Hammer's just on a plane with a black figure. He's like winking at everyone on his way out.
And
I
so...
was like pitching this idea drunk on a flight, movies like Hammer's movie pitches. And Christopher Nolan's like, maybe let's not make him black. What if he was Japanese?
And so...
Black's a bit on the nose. Japanese probably chill.
I thought that because we were renting this house in Greenwich, this is when I was like 18 and maybe 19, and I was convinced that like something evil had happened in the house, and so my mum
In Greenwich, like as in like just north of the bridge in Sydney.
yeah,
Oh, then
like
definitely.
Cove. And so
They had slaves at some point over there. For
my
sure.
mum had like blessed the room with like thrown holy water around the whole room, and like we had a crucifix in the room,
Nun mum.
and nun mum, yep, and so
Sister Hamilton.
so we blessed the room. Still kept happening.
So you tried an exorcism, and it didn't work,
We blessed the room,
and you were surprised.
but you know what stopped the figure?
Was it John Paul II?
The night terrors stopped when I stopped taking so many ecstasy tablets. There you go. Coincidence? Would you believe?
Guys, I reckon there's some kind of correlation here.
It was a weird coincidence. I stopped doing so many mind-numbing drugs and never had it again.
Really? And did you tell your mum? You're like, Mum, you're not going to believe this.
Didn't mention that part to her.
The holy water worked.
The power of Christ did compel him away.
Also, by the way, here's that $30 I owed you.
You ever try washing down MDMA with holy water? Maybe that'd even it out.
You know, if you're on a bad trip on acid and you drink holy water, it stops. It's the pH balance, bro. You know that holy water is like acidic, right?
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Why?
I thought it
Is
was just regular water.
Blessed?
Just been blessed.
Bro.
I haven't tried tasting it.
You haven't tried tasting it? You having a little nibble? Haven't tried to cleanse your palate before the communion?
Cleanse my palate. So, did you want me to talk about this movie idea?
Dude, now that you've already told us that you came up with a plot for Inception, but like racist Inception.
Yeah.
Racist druggy inception.
Every time I dream, these black guys are after me.
I used to write down all these pages and pages of books, like just ideas for. I was like, this is going to be the next big movie.
Yeah.
This is going to be huge.
Have you got like one? Is this like your number one pitch we're starting with today?
No, this is just one that was just at the top of my head that I thought was quite strong, and I'm still not convinced now that this couldn't be something in a couple of years.
Sure. Where do you want to start? Title, plot?
Okay, it's this. You've seen the movie Seven.
Give us the elevator pitch. Tom's an advertising executive.
You've
This is
seen the
actually his
movie
life.
You've seen the movie Seven?
I've seen the movie Seven. You seen the movie Seven?
I've seen the movie Seven.
It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to Seven.
Hamo loved half of it. Brad Pitt pretty good. The other guy had some pretty bad dreams about him.
Dude, Brad Pitt, stop trying to solve crimes with your night terror. I don't care how calming his voice is.
The sequel to the movie Seven. Get ready for it. It's
Don't.
fucking called.
Don't.
It's called 8. Here we go. It's called 8, boys. Strap yourself in.
I'm so glad it's not 7-2. Go on, Hamo. What is it, brother?
I started researching, and what I discovered in my research was two things. There used to be, like hundreds of years ago, when they did the lists of, and we know I love a list of.
I was on the Wikipedia for lists
of deadly sins and heavenly virtues. There was actually an 8th sin.
Whoa. It was more than 7.
It was more than 7.
One more.
There was an extra one.
Wonder what it might be.
It was called like acedia or something like that. Which.
Wait, is this real? Sorry, I thought you were making this up. I think it's like part of the plot.
No, this is so.
Okay. No.
It's like
this is based on a true story.
So there was an 8th sin,
yes.
which translates to essentially like apathy. And is there a sin which is more relevant to today's society than apathy? We don't care about anything.
We don't care about anything at all.
Do you want me to fact check this?
Yeah,
Is he
fact
going?
check
Or no? The 8th sin mutated into one of the 7 deadly sins we know today, which is sloth.
Oh, so like that's apathy is part of
So
sloth.
I don't know what but that's, I feel like they're kind of missing the point, right? They're like, well, the 8th one became the other one, but then what was the one they lost? You know?
Yeah, but like you could apathy you could slice as being different to sloth.
Yeah,
right?
but like I can see how it could be included while also separate. Hammer,
Yep.
I'm with you. Currently, logical foundation for this film. Spot
so the
on.
start of the movie, dead body, apathy written on the wall, and we're like, oh shit! And then the cops start talking about how this is reminding them a lot of that shit that went down years ago from that movie 7.
Right.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, holy shit.
And this really reminds me of the movie 7. It was shit, Lenny.
I'm getting some Kevin Spacey vibe. But so the mythology would be that obviously at the end of that movie, he designed it so that he envied the life of Brad Pitt and his wife. And so then he tried to turn Brad Pitt into wrath to kill him. So, but I would have it that the media and the public only ever knew that he got through 5 of the deadly sins. They wouldn't let him. Wouldn't let the bad guy win.
There was a cover up.
Cover up.
Nobody knew about Brad Pitt murdering Kevin Spacey.
No one knew that he completed the 7. So then they'd be like, "Holy shit! Some guy's doing this 8th deadly sin," implying that someone out there knows that Kevin Spacey completed the 7.
Like the police are aware that someone must be on the inside.
The cops are aware. Someone out there knows that he completed this thing. So they go to see Brad Pitt.
Where's Brad Pitt?
He's in a mental asylum.
Whoa.
Because he lost his mind after he found his wife. Found Gwyneth's head in a box.
And shot Kevin Spacey.
And shot Kevin Spacey.
So he's been convicted.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
His lawyers pled temporary insanity. He's been sent to a mental institution.
What court would have convicted him of that? I think he would have.
I feel like your experience of courts means you don't think anyone gets convicted.
I don't think.
Brad Pitt has been found guilty of murdering Kevin Spacey. He spends 4 months in prison. He's touring at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
He's in Turkey. I think that he would be. He's in an asylum. So they go to chat to him for information, and and they talk to him about the fact.
Is Morgan Freeman still there?
Morgan Freeman's long dead.
Long dead.
Which is, I mean, it's hard to...
We couldn't attach him to the film.
I don't even know how Morgan Freeman's doing lately, but he's like very old now.
Yes.
Yeah. I just think by the time I write this script and we get financing, it's going to be tough to get Morgs on it.
Brad Pitt, on the other hand, has not aged, as we all know.
Brad Pitt's still alive, but... So they go to talk to him about the fact that there's like either there's a copycat killer, there's someone who's picking up where Kevin Spacey left off.
I think you're also going to have trouble getting Kevin Spacey for this film.
He's dead.
For different reasons. Just for any flashback sequences, you know.
So then Brad Pitt, hearing all this, too traumatized, grabs one of the cops' guns and offs himself. Bang. This is the first 10 minutes of the movie. Brad Pitt's dead. And
Suicide.
You're like,
by a cop.
And you're like, you know when you're watching a movie and like the most famous person in it is dead in the first 10 minutes and you're like, holy shit, this just opens up a can of worms. Like, where are we going from here? I remember seeing the movie Executive Decision. Do you ever see that with Kurt Russell? And
No.
Steven Seagal's in it.
Okay.
And Steven Seagal dies in the first 10 minutes. And you're like, holy shit, Steve's dead?
Oh, no, I did watch it. I thought that was the end. I turned it off.
Man, this Trump Fest movie has some big stars in it. Huh?
And I love that because I'm like, holy shit, Steve's dead. Like, anything could happen now. Like, we're all at risk.
We're all at risk. Am I next?
Who's going to protect me now that Steven Seagal is dead?
Anyway, Kurt's fine and he saves the day. But it's
Fuck,
so,
we're
it just
spoiling a
goes
lot of
to show-
movies.
He
This
made the
movie's been
executive
out-
decision.
It's been out for 30 years, guys. If you haven't seen Executive Decision by now, that's on you. But
Hammer also has an idea for a movie called Non-Executive Decision.
so
Steven Seagal's been alive the whole time.
So then, instead of the 7 deadly sins, someone is killing people based on the 7 heavenly virtues.
Oh,
All right?
the opposite.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
What are they?
Chastity.
How do you kill someone with chastity?
Well, no.
No, is it for engaging in chastity?
These are the.
They kill a virgin?
These are the virtues, but like we know, it'll be people that are presenting themselves as these virtues, but they're fake cunts, right?
Uh-huh.
Because there's so many people out there that.
Hypocrites.
Oh, that's good. So
Yeah.
here are the 7 heavenly virtues: humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence.
Here we go.
So how do you kill someone for pretending to be patient?
This dog can't.
No, baby, don't worry. We didn't have to have sex on the first date. Hey. He wanted the fuck. Anyway, it's one of the heavenly virtues. It's a convoluted plot point. Anyway, it'll make sense later.
So
It's gonna be half an hour at your table. Is that okay? It's totally fine. Bang.
I think there's probably
The product will be delivered with 3 to 5 working days. That seems reasonable.
Humility. We can get someone that pretends to be humble. That one's easy enough.
That's
Charity. Someone that donates to charity, but it's a fake charity. Maybe they're cooking the books.
Well, like Shane Warne.
There we go.
Whoa, that's right. What has Shane Warne
What's
do?
Shane Warne done?
I thought he got in trouble for his charity.
Did he?
Shit. Have I just
Posthumously?
made this up? I'd hate to besmirch the great man.
Yeah.
I consider
He's
Shane
not even
Warne
allowed to
the
defend-
anti-flog. He's one of the true greats. One of the great
So-
people in Australian culture.
Anyway, I hadn't gone through the entire list of heavenly virtues to figure out what the character would be that's trying to embody that. But in fact, it's a fraud. But
Yes.
that would be where the movie
Begins?
heads with. So it starts with a death based on
Brad Pitt.
on the sin, which was completing the 8 deadly sins,
Yes.
and then we're going through the 7 heavenly virtues.
Right. And do we have an ending?
No.
Excellent.
But I don't need that to get financing. I just need them. I think it's strong enough if I just say it's a sequel to 7. It's called 8.
I like the fact that the only movie Hamo hasn't spoiled is the one that doesn't exist.
Hey, no spoilers, guys.
I just would like to picture myself in a room full of suits, being like, it's a sequel to 7. Hold on, it's called 8, and then I'm just being like, getting out the checkbook. Like that's enough.
Dude, it's amazing that you think it's still the 90s. Hey, it's called Snakes on a Plane. Where do you want me to sign? This sounds great. Look,
If you would see that movie, Floggers, right in.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Tom, you're the ad executive. I feel like you're the studio executive here that he's pitching it to. I feel like I'm just some kind of lackey, you know?
I kind of feel like, why do I need you? You know? Like, you don't have the rights to any of these films. Brad Pitt's not attached. I'll just get in touch with Fincher, I guess.
Oh, but I would have to write the script. What do you mean? I'd have a script, and on the front page would say 8, but instead of a G, it would be the number 8. You know, like 7.
Instead of 7, it had the...
You know? There we go. Boom. You'd be like, holy fuck, this guy's legit.
This guy's a genius.
I love that, like, you pitching this. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. He's just seen 7 and been like, what if you made the G an 8? 8 would work. And then he's like built, you know, a framework around it. But at the same time, I feel like that's the kind of thing that an American executive would be like, this guy's a genius. This guy's figured it all out.
Millions at him.
I'm there being like, here's the whole plot sketch out, and like, shut the fuck up. Where's the number 8 in the title? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sweet graphic.
And you're telling me Brad dies on the 8th page of the script?
8th page. The 8th minute of the
Boom,
film.
holy shit, symbolic.
8 seconds into the 8th minute of the film that's released on the 8th of the 8th, and heaps of Asians see it because it's lucky. Is that what's going on, Hamo?
There we go. It writes itself.
It does. It's genius.
All right. I feel like you're on the fence, Tom.
I'm no. I think I when you won me back on the 7 heavenly virtues. I thought that was interesting. I was like, where's he going to go? He's done the 8. But
Here we go.
Yeah,
Hypocrites. And I mean, I think that's, like, why can't I remember the word for it now? The thing where you say the thing, the social justice warrior thing, like where you're trying to seem good. Virtue signaling.
there it
Virtue
is.
signaling.
Yeah. I feel like that's very hot button.
That's true.
Yep.
And
Lot
he's
of
basically
undertones,
killing virtue signalers.
all these fake
So are you going to
pricks.
get Greta Thunberg in? She owns 9 cars. Have you heard this?
Yep.
What? Greta Thunberg owns 9 cars?
I feel like I'm just committing libel on this podcast. Wait, defamation, which is doesn't matter. I think so. I saw something on
Man.
Twitter, which has never lied to me before,
Never.
that she owns 9 cars.
Andrew Tate really got
That
that girl's
can't be
head.
true. That cannot be true.
Did you miss that? Andrew Tate really got in that girl's head.
It's a real shame being on Hammer's left side where his ear doesn't work.
This is my deaf side. Sorry, mate.
I think he might be lying about the ear because that's where you snap the jets and he could hear it. Couldn't have heard a rinse, I'll tell you
because it
that.
was so loud, the sound carried to my good ear.
That's how good the Jets. That's how good the Jets.
The tensile
cracked is.
strength just cracked. It was just so loud.
Just a powerful jet.
Could have heard it in Maitland.
All right. Well, I've got plenty more movie ideas where that one came from.
I love this segment. Wait, but before we close, on 8, have you got any roles? Who's your dream list? Who's your cast? Who's playing the Kevin Spacey role?
Well, I think Brad Pitt's in it.
Brad Pitt's in it, but not
Brad
full on.
Pitt's in it for only a few minutes.
And then what, an undiscovered cast? Or are you pitching yourself in this movie? You're going to be one of the
Oh
cops?
no, I hadn't pictured myself as being in it, but I would love to do that old that Tarantino thing of like digging off some people that like have really gone off the boil.
Yeah.
Who do we used to like in movies? Who hasn't been around for a while?
I mean, you could resurrect Travolta's career again. You could literally do the Tarantino thing.
There we go.
And Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Well, I think Bruce is on the way out as well. Poor Bruce.
These are kind of like older detectives.
I think you want a similar dynamic to the original 7. You want the young, hungry guy and the seasoned vet.
You're gonna have to do the modern equivalent of Pitt and Freeman. Like, and I think you want maybe like young upstarts, right? As opposed to grizzled vets, you want like, or you
So
flip
what, like
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Oh, as the young cop.
As the young,
He's black.
Wow.
oh, we're gonna get Hammer a job in a casting room.
I loved him. Why? He's black.
Oh, he's
You
black.
seen him?
What about